wish for all beings to be free, free from the constriction and contraction caused by held belief systems and thought patterns, free from the automatic reactivity of learned and held emotional patterns, and free from the isolation and suffering caused by distorted perception. I will always go for refuge to alive, vibrant, radiant, spacious awareness until awareness is ongoing, like the flow of a river. Enthused by wisdom and compassion, today in the presence of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, of any lineage or no lineage at all, and any time or beyond time, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all beings. As long as space remains, as long as beings remain, may I manifest in such a way to ease and dispel the miseries in the universe. Okay. In that, a couple of things I like to point out sometimes. I guess I am today. The manlam, the thing at the end, is how I want to how it's personal to this being, how I want to manifest. May I manifest in such a way. So feel free to put whatever you want in there. And also for refuge. We've talked a lot about that. What is really your refuge? And please feel free to put that in there. I sort of cobbled mine together from what I was told the Dalai Lama says every day and what has deep meaning for me to point and remind me again and again and again. You will notice in the beginning, it does not say, may all beings be free of thoughts, feelings, and perceptions. It says, may we be free of the constriction caused by held belief systems, the reactivity caused by emotional patterns, and our distorted perceptions that we are separate from everything we see out there, which causes immense suffering and isolation. Anything else in there? Does anybody have any questions about the refuge that I use? Okay. Good. Well, what occurred to me today and these usually arise as I want to invite freshly in every moment the essence of Chenrezig into my life. Whether we call it a practice or simply a shift of attention, a shift in our awareness. I don't know about you, but I can still get distracted quite easily. So what arose was that we try the practice a little differently. I'll call it a new twist on Chenrezig. How's that? And if you're willing, we'll give it a go. Has everybody had the lung for the mantra? Which means that somebody who has had the lung gives it to you 3 times. You repeat after them 3 times. Has anybody not had that? Just throw your hand up and I'll look around. Okay. In all of these practices, I once talked with Lama Lena about this. Tantric practices are like, in the Tibetan style, are like learning a different language. It does take effort. It does take commitment. Uh, if you want to do it traditionally Tibetan, there's a lot of visualization and practice at visualization until you're able to see the form of the deity arising with all of the symbols that are involved in that. As I said, like a different language. Lama Lena did almost everything she chose to do in the Tibetan teachings because she knew that went all the way. And she didn't want to do something that might not work. But we're Western. Probably many of us are not going to dedicate the time to do that. If you are, those methods obviously work. However, I asked her directly if one opens one's heart to the essence of whatever yidam we're talking about. Sometimes it helps to get an empowerment from somebody that is um, empowered to give them. I'll use the same word. Because the feeling in that is that the person who is empowered becomes that yidam for that teaching and therefore may transmit the essence of that yidam to you. Um, is that absolutely necessary? I don't know. So it's a good thing to make a choice, traditional, or do you want to just try the essence? You know yourself well enough to know you're not going to do traditional. Um, Biggest deal with Chenrezig and also pretty much, in my experience, with Vajrasattva or Tara is a matter of complete open-heartedness. Um, those are the yidams that are close to me. Uh, Wangdo Rinpoche, Lama Lena's teacher, used to do a lot of singing of mantra in his teachings, but he would do three specifically. He did the mantra for Padmasambhava, Guru Rinpoche, um, Om Ahung Vajraguru Pema Siddhi Hung for Tara, Om Tare Tatari Turi Soha, and Chenrezig, Om Mani Padme Hung. And he would sing them every time. And I make a joke that I'm kind of glad in some ways Lama Lena didn't take up that practice. She has a lovely voice. The singing and the tunes, maybe not so much for some of us. When she's singing, if you want to practice, instead of trying to pull her or pull your own sound into something more pleasant to yourself, try to follow and sing exactly as she does. It's quite an interesting practice. She does that at the end. She always does that prayer. Anyway, I digress. Um, when I met them, and this is what I mean by the essence of things, I was gobsmacked, if you know that word. I don't know how to translate that, Ola. I was sort of just like not in awe exactly, but the first time I met them, boom, uh, I was lucky enough that my mind shifted to what I guess I'm not ever going to say. I followed them out. That's the best words I have to what they were pointing at. And I was so fortunate, I felt, that it occurred to me that I would do 100,000 of each of the mantras that Wangdo Rinpoche sings. Now, I didn't do it so I could get something. It just popped in my mind. That would be really a great thing to do because I really am grateful for what I was shown. And I didn't do it with this rigidity of, oh God, I hope I get to 100,000. It was nothing like that. And I sang all of them because that's what he did. Is that the right way? No. Is it the wrong way? No. It's just what occurred to me from my heart as almost like an offering to Wangdo Rinpoche. So, and it was great fun. It's really fun to sing mantra. So I guess what I'm saying is if you follow your heart, quietly things will arise. The things that often our attention doesn't notice, I've found. Like this morning, it arose what we're going to do today. And I almost went, oh, I don't know, I'm too, you know. And I finally learned don't dismiss things that arise. It doesn't mean they're right, it doesn't mean they're wrong, but they come kind of quietly, and now I just do them. And that works for me. I don't know what works means. That helps my heart stay open. How's that? I don't know what it does. It's just what I do. So those quiet voices. I quoted the lyrics from an Indigo Girls songs of all things, and I hope I get it right. Darkness has a hunger that's insatiable. Light has a sound that's hard to hear. That's close. So part of what we do is to learn to hear light. I like that. What does light sound like, you might ask? Well, we can try listening. Without light, we wouldn't perceive anything by sight. There's a lot to perceive by our other senses also. Okay, so what occurred was to start kind of in the center. So how do we get to that sense of open-heartedness? How do we let our heart open? And here, there's sort of two options, but I'd like to do both today. First, starting with choosing one being in your life that you felt helped you tremendously. Whether you were able to feel their love or not, I hope you were. But if there was that kind of connection there, often I think there probably was love. And what we're going to do, with your permission, and I will end up muting myself, is sing mantras. Or, yeah, I think it's important to sing the mantra if you're okay with it. You can just bring them into your heart with gratitude, with openness. And the other way to do this, which maybe some of us will, what's that word? Not repress, not reject. We'll find some uncomfortableness with. I can't think of the right word. And we won't want to do it. Is to, actually, this is where it first came to me, is to rest with whatever you remember of yourself as a small child. And for a minute, rest in whatever memories come up, I don't really care if they're actual or not, of times when that little child felt like a little child, which means no restrictions and often quite a lot of joy, and got squished. Many of you have backgrounds of, if not obvious abuse, some kind of abuse that stifled that joyous openness of a child. And just rest with that child for a moment and feel that, how that enthusiasm of childhood, unless you got squished before you even got that far, then you'll have to go back to remembering a baby. And when you were uncomfortable, you yelled. When you were happy, you might have giggled or drooled. I don't know. I can't remember when we learned to smile, but it's pretty young. You responded to what was around you, what you experienced. And think of that, yourself. I'd like you to use yourself. And how much that slap in the face, or uh, when you might have had a moment of joy and somebody said you're an idiot, or that's stupid, or you wanted to share something and you went running to a parent or caregiver. Look what I found. And they said, oh my God, that's disgusting. All of those little kinds of things or big things. Feel for a minute that child and how much that hurts. What we're going to do, because I've been told I don't always experience it sometimes. Time is a concept. Time running forward is a concept. So beyond time, whatever we do today touches beings. It is said that if we can spend time, some of you have done past life regression in the Chenrezig 4-day retreat. One of the instructions when you run into something that is really, really hard, what you do, that's why Chenrezig is a prerequisite, is in that moment you sing mantra. You sing Om Mani Padme Hum to ease the pain of that being in that moment. Not to particularly ease your pain at having to experience it, but to sing for that being in that moment. And it is said that that can change the trajectory of whatever happened. Whether you believe that or not isn't really important. What is important is that you allow that feeling, not your resentment that those things happened, and the pain of that, that certainly is painful. But the actual experience and whatever happens naturally for you in experiencing that child being hurt, right there, I'd like to start. Give you a couple minutes to allow your heart to open to that. If it's too much, use bringing in someone that really helped you, that you felt possibly loved you or did love you. It could be a parent. It doesn't necessarily have to be. Oftentimes it's a grandparent uh, that gave you that sense of relief that maybe you were okay. So either way, if you can touch your own childhood, great, your own child. If not, find something that works for you. We'll start singing to that child. And as you sing manis to that child, wishing for the ease of that pain and sending well-being, love, open-heartedness. It could be as simple as it's gonna be okay, I'm with you. Doesn't matter, whatever comes to you. Sing that into the mantra. Light, if that's comfortable for you. Light, simply light, loving light. Offer to them within the mantra. The mantra is simply the sound of Chenrezig, of open-heartedness. Okay? It may happen as you do this that, you know what, I'm not going to say anything. Let's just start there. Actually, I'm going to tell you the whole practice and then everybody can go at their own rate. And allow it to open how it does. If it opens to all children that have ever felt that kind of hurt, then let it go to all children. But please begin from the inside. And then if it naturally expands, let it expand. If it doesn't, that's okay too. Okay, clear? And we're going to go to any beings in our life that we might have felt love for or from or both. No matter how it ended up, sometimes it doesn't go so well. In the moment we felt that love, it was open and joyous. So not thinking of that being as how it may have ended up, but experiencing them as it actually was in that moment. Send that being love. Sing the mantra for them. If you felt joy, sing the mantra with joy, touching all the beings in your life that loved you, and be specific, or you loved. Be very specific. We're starting specific. And let's leave it right there for now. And I'll leave you in your experience as we are experiencing together, because we're not separate. But I'm going to mute myself and I'm going to practice the same thing I just shared with you. Okay? If you needed time, oh, I don't know, probably about 10 minutes. I don't know. Excuse the interruption quickly. It just happened, so I'm going to share it. You may find yourself crying. You may find yourself pulling yourself out. But we're not going to do that today because we have Chenrezig with us. We have every Buddha and Bodhisattva that ever has been, is, or will be with us together doing this. So we're going to keep our attention, our awareness on the child and send the love there. Okay. Om mani padme hungry, om mani padme hungry. Om mani padme hungry, om mani padme hungry. Please feel free to hit mute and continue wherever you are. And please let this open however it does for you. It may stay right with the child. You may find yourself putting a hand on your chest. And as you do, as you're singing, you'll feel the vibration. It's very comforting, actually, I found. Um, if you remember and ask me, I'll share you something about my experience next week, but I don't want to put it on top of your experience. Eventually, naturally, if we do this practice, I'm so glad it was given to me this morning, without forcing, without thinking I should, without anything like that, it will open, but not until something has gentled within us. So, and perhaps healed in this moment. So don't force it. Some of us will want to get it off of our attention on our child, our being, and get out of that really fast. Don't do that. If we don't allow ourselves to heal all of our parts, we won't be whole enough to offer healings. Without judgment, without resistance, that was the word, to anything that arises. Remember, we invited all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and that involves saints and any beings that have recognized true open-heartedness. Well, where do you think they all went? They're actually with you in every moment. I think that's enough words for me. I'm so grateful we got to do this together. Thank you very much. And please continue if you want to write me, feel free. Yeah. Whatever ease and openness may have occurred by our time together. May we not grasp it. Try to control it. Try to direct it. Try to analyze it. But simply in those moments where we help the causes and conditions to arise, to allow this openness. In those moments when it does arise, may we, without grasping, allow it to organically expand into the whole universe, touching all beings. It does this organically and naturally. We don't have to do that. May all beings have such opportunities. May all beings be free. Thank you so much.